Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to solve Leetcode daily challenge problem number 387, first unique character in a string. So it's a really easy problem to solve, and we'll first check out the problem statement, then we'll look into the approach which we're going to use, and towards the end we'll see the code as well. So starting with the problem statement, it is given that given a string s, find the first non-repeating character in it and return it indices. If it does not exist, return -1. So, for example, in this case, as you can see, the answer is 0 because L is a unique character. By that I mean, it is not occurring more than one time in the whole string, and the index of L was 0. Similarly, in love lead code as well, V is a unique character which is not occurring, more than one number of time, and the index of that was 2. And in the last example, like the solution was not possible, and that's why we are returning -1. Okay, so let's check out the approach which you can use to solve this problem, and it's gonna be a very simple one to solve as well. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'll be using hash map or hash table to solve the problem, and we will use two dictionaries or two hash maps to solve this one. In first hash map, I will be storing the number of occurrences of each character. Okay, for example, in example number 1 of the question, we had lead code, right? L was occurring one number of time, E was occurring 3 times, T1, C1, O1, D1, right? Now once we have this, and the other hash map will be used to store the index of first occurrence of each character. For example, E was occurring multiple times, right? E has occurred 3 times. But what was the index when we saw E for the very first time? That was 1, right? That was this index. So that's why we have 1 here. Now, if I have the frequency and the indexes, what we'll have to do, we'll have to filter elements with value 1. Okay. After doing that, what we can do, we can get the smallest index of these filtered elements. For example, if we do this, we will get L, T, C, O, and D, right? This will be the result of the filtration. And now what you'll have to do, you'll have to just check what were the indexes when we saw L for the first time. So L was we saw L for the first time at 0th index. T was at 3, C was at 4, and so on and so forth. So as this is the smallest index, this is our answer. Let's check out the code which we'll be using to solve this one as well. It is a simple code, like we'll be doing exactly what we discussed, and I'll not use counter method to get the frequency of each character and do so, because in many interview setup it might be possible that interviewer will ask you not to use any external module. So what we are doing, we have defined two dictionaries, frequency as indices, and we are iterating the string and uh, figuring out the number of frequency of each character in string using this logic. So what we are doing, at every iteration or at every index, we will see what was the character. We will check if the character already exists or not. If it not, we will initialize it 0 and add 1 in it. Otherwise we'll get the value. For example, in the explanation, as we saw, like E was occurring 3 times, so at the last time we will get the value of E as 2, but when there was not E, we will initialize it 0 and add 1 in it. So basically we are starting it with 1, and we will increment 1 as we see it for next time. Okay, next what we are doing, we are checking if we have already seen this character or not. So by this logic, what you can do, you can figure out the first time, like, or the first index where that character has occurred. Okay, so now what we are doing, we are checking if the character is already in indices or not. If not, we are adding the current index and assigning it to the character. Okay, now for unique element, as I say, what we'll be doing, we will be just simply filtering out the keys or the characters who has occurred for one time only. Okay, so this is the loop which we are running on dictionary.items method. So items gives you both key and value, right? And what we are doing, we are checking if value is 1, then only we are considering those elements. Okay. And as we discussed while reading out the problem statement, if the solution is not possible, we want to return -1. So in unique elements, you will only get elements who has occurred for only one time, right? If the unique element is null, or if there was no such element, then the length of unique elements will be 0, and we can say, okay, the solution is not possible, and we'll return -1 in it. Okay. Otherwise, what we are doing, we are checking for the minimum index possible for these filtered characters. And to do that, we are using this additional variable called minimum index, and we have initialized it with float infinity. And now we will just simply iterate the filtered set which we have figured out here, and we'll check each index from the indices, this hash map or this dictionary. Basically, we are checking for all the elements who is occurring for only one time, and trying to figure out the minimum index possible. So yeah, and at the end we will simply return the index. Let's check out the test cases. As you can see, test cases got clear. Let's submit for further evaluation. And the solution got accepted. And so like we have performed decent. So yeah. Thanks some guys for watching out the video. Stay tuned with the upcoming ones. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.